Start this video off by saying I'm not the biggest Yu-Gi-Oh fan out there. If I were to track all the Yu-Gi-Oh content I've consumed over the years, I have watched the first episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Zetzel, the first 10 episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, and all of season 1 of Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, and the first 3 episodes of the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Alright, obviously there is so much to this series, and when it comes to the shows, I haven't really scratched the surface, to say the least, but I do feel more comfortable talking about the actual game itself, seeing how I've dumped 291 hours into the game. I just want to make it really clear before we get into the meat and potatoes of this video that I'm not a Yu-Gi-Oh expert in the slightest. There is so much about this game I don't understand or just flat out don't know in general, but I do think I'm in a position where I can still talk about it. The last thing I want to do is spread any misinformation about this game. If I do make any mistakes throughout this video, please leave a comment explaining the mistake and I will do my best to address it. One more thing before we start this video. If I convince you in any way to play this game, I do recommend watching at least one of the shows. Watching the shows is not the best way to teach yourself, but it absolutely beats going in blind. Trust me on this one. I'm speaking from experience. Alright, with all that out the way, let's talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links and why it's so great. The moment you load up the game, it literally starts with someone just screaming the title at you. Insert clip.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links!
I think we can all agree that the first thing we see or hear when you load up a game isn't the most important part, but a good opener will always get me in the mood to play a good game. And the really fun part about it is, it's not always the same person, so I take that how you will, I guess. At the time of the recording of this video, there are 5 Yu-Gi-Oh! Hub Worlds. Currently, I do have them all unlocked, and I do quite enjoy each of them, the differences between them being the background scenery, usually referencing the series it's from, but the best part being the rewards. Each time you unlock a new Hub World, you get the main character for the series and the option to unlock multiple side characters who have their own specific cards and skills. It keeps things fresh. It's really fun knowing you have the option to unlock so many different things, but on the other hand, it can be super overwhelming at times, seeing how you can unlock so many characters and there's so many different cards specific to each of those characters. It can be a bit much at times and honestly confusing, but the feeling of unlocking your favorite duelist or some complete rando you've never heard of before never gets old, and the scenery of each hub world is so much fun to look at. There's even a night and day cycle. Alright, each hub world has 4 areas: gate, PvP arena, shop, duel studio, each of them giving you access to many things to help you be the best duelist you can be. Alright, close your eyes and imagine it's your first time playing this game, and your friend recommends you go to the duel trials so you can get a good feel of how the game plays. But you say no, I'm built different, tutorials are for losers, and you go to the shop, buy a random deck, and start dueling, and you lose. A lot. So you get tired of losing, and you tell yourself, this game is bad, it's not me, it's the game. Fault I keep losing. It's not the fact that I didn't take any time to learn how the game actually plays, so you quit. A few weeks later, you and your buddies are arguing which series is better, Buddy Fight or Yu-Gi-Oh! And you all come to agreement that each opposing side will watch each other's shows. So you watch Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, and something in you snaps, and you have the sudden urge to duel again. The reason I recommended you watch one of the shows before playing this game is because I feel like you have to get in a certain mindset to duel. You have to want to get a better deck. You have to surprisingly want to read every single card effect your monster has. You have to want to find synergy in your deck. It's this feeling of wanting to get better that I found only finding through the shows. Watching the struggles of the main character really motivated me to become the best duelist I could be. Now, I'm not going to go into great detail about this show, but I definitely do feel it's a great way to motivate yourself to get better at this game. Every time I lose a duel, my first thought is, how can I make my deck better so it doesn't happen again? It's a really good feeling when you see progressive change in your deck. Moral of the story, just watch the show before playing the game. It might just help you on the end. And just do the duel trials. It's a really helpful tool, or just motivate yourself. I don't know. Maybe you truly are built different. Oh my god, never in my life have I ever wanted to spend money on something so bad. Alright, in the shop there's basically an endless amount of cards. You can buy decks, you can buy packs. Luckily there are many ways to get cards without spending real or money on this game. You can use gems to buy packs or decks, but gems run out and eventually your sanity will too. Alright, let me lay it out for you. Building a deck in this game is like assembling a jigsaw puzzle, but every time you're missing 1 or 2 pieces that are impossible to find. Maybe it's in the couch, maybe it's behind the fridge. All I know that it's going to take way more effort than needed to find it, and when you finally do, it's gonna feel amazing, but you're gonna be exhausted by the end of it. Now, I don't know if I should call this game pay to win or anything. I mean, time and effort does pay off tremendously, but so does that credit card. I'll let you guys decide this one in the comments. Playing online or with your friends will leave you feeling two different types of ways. Either you'll feel very satisfied, trust me, playing this game with the boys is basically an endless amount of fun, or pain, just pain. You will quite literally shrivel up into a ball and cry yourself to sleep, because my god, the Lord and Savior of cheese itself resides itself in this game. I firmly believe that there are some certain decks in this game that shouldn't exist. There are certain cheesy cards that will quite literally make you cry yourself to sleep. Now let me give you some examples. The cards that we will be talking about today probably aren't the cheesiest cards in the game, and there are ways around them, but it doesn't excuse the immense pain each of them has caused me. So let's get right into it. First on our hit list is Drowning Mirror Force. Alright, the way this card works is, if I attack you directly and none of my monsters are in defense position, you shuffle all the monsters I had on the field back into my deck. Now I know what you're thinking. Just put your monsters in defense position, stupid. And I'd say to you, it's not that simple. When you have the beefiest boy out in the field and your opponent is wide open, the temptation of just attacking is too great. When someone uses this card on you, it's just the most tragic feeling in the entire universe. Because you know you could have just put your monster in defense position, but if you did, you wouldn't have had enough attack power to kill them. And in the end, you just lose your strongest monster, leaving you wide open. And the feeling of just seeing all your monsters leave the field back into your hand is just heartbreaking. It's rage inducing. It's all around sad boy vibes. Next on the list is Fiendish Chain. Now what this card does is, if your monster has an effect, this card will negate the effect and basically hardlock your monster in place, so you cannot attack at all. What you can do is switch your monster into defense position and basically do nothing. You're a sitting duck. Okay, yeah, it doesn't sound that bad, but you won't be saying that when the person you're dueling only has monsters that do piercing damage. Alrighty, when your monster's in defense position and someone destroys it, you don't take any damage unless their monster can do piercing damage. That means it doesn't matter whether your monster's in attack position or defense position. If they have higher attack, your cheeks getting clapped. The reason I hate this card is because there are some people out there who will deliberately wait for you to summon your strongest monster and then use this card, and you have no other options but to just sit there in pain and agony, not being able to do anything. It's just the most frustrating thing ever. Now the cards I talked about today aren't the worst cards in the game by a long shot. They're actually pretty good cards, but the amount of pain both of them have caused me is immeasurable. But don't feel bad about using these cards. Remember, this is just my silly little opinion. Who knows, maybe you won't have problems with these cards. Alright, obviously I am over exaggerating a little bit. It's not all that bad. There is a lot of fun to be had when it comes to this game, and there are just so many really solid decks out there that are really hard to beat without pure skill and strategy. The Duel Studio. Literally everything's in here. Deck editor, card catalog, skill list, popularity rankings, duel column, CK report, stack list, customization, summoning animation list. God, that's a mouthful. If you're ever looking for something specific, card, maybe a deck you want to build, a skill you want your character to have, literally everything is in here. I usually just use the card catalog since every single card in the game can be found here. It's a super useful tool that you should absolutely take advantage of. The overall goal of this video was to convince any newcomers to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Now I don't know if I did a good job with that, but I'm hoping I did. Overall, I really do think it's a great game, and there's so much fun to be had either playing with random people online or with the boys. I truly do feel like it's an endless amount of fun. But with that said, I do see how it can be really hard to get into this game, and I definitely do recommend watching at least one of the shows before attempting. But maybe you're built different. Maybe you can get into this game no problem. I don't know. I hope you enjoyed my Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links video. Until next time, stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Whew, alrighty, this is the end of the video. This one took me a long time. This is probably the most ambitious thing I have ever done in my entire life involving a computer. I don't know. I hope you enjoy the video. Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. This took me a really long time to make. I really do hope you guys enjoy. And if you have any video ideas, leave them in the comments below. The next video is probably going to be on Lego Batman 3. I don't know. We'll see. Alright, this is the real ending of the video. See ya.